Now, the White House National Security Advisor has told American media the U.S. does not want to see fighting in hospitals in Gaza. Jake Sullivan also says Washington is involved in negotiations with Israel and Qatar on securing the release of captives held by Hamas. Let's bring in Shihab Rattansi in Washington, D.C. for more on this. So what more has Jake Sullivan been saying, Shihab?
This was an interview to one U.S. network that hasn't actually aired yet, but we managed to listen in while it was taking place, and it was more of the same gentle chiding that we've come to expect from the Biden administration, as if we can't see the catastrophe that's unfolding, or as if the Biden administration didn't actually really in some ways hold the key to what's happening on the ground there. But Sullivan was asked several questions. Firstly, on the issue of Israeli attacks on hospitals. He was asked, so does the U.S. confirm then that these are legitimate Hamas targets, command and control centers? He wouldn't confirm that. He simply said that using open source information, in the past, Hamas has used hospitals as covers and human shields. But then he did say the U.S. doesn't want to see firefights in hospitals. So couched in all that language, there was apparently a warning. The U.S. doesn't want to see firefights in hospitals. That's as strong as it gets. Then asked about the release of the captives, whether there was a deal on the table, which at least one U.S. member of Congress has been telling the media might be on the table. That is some kind of exchange for the captives and Palestinian women and children who are held in Israeli jails. He wouldn't confirm that, but simply confirmed that Israel, Qatar and Hamas are in these negotiations, and the U.S. is involved. Thirdly, on the 400 U.S. citizens in Gaza, he said the gates are open currently, and he does expect more U.S. citizens to leave Gaza. And then finally, that the main point in the interview was when asked about Netanyahu talking about having total security control over Gaza for the foreseeable future, he said that as far as he was concerned, there has to be no forcible displacement of Palestinians, and ultimately the Palestinians need to be in charge of Gaza and the West Bank. There has to be some kind of linkage in the Palestinian leadership to control Gaza. But however, we can't go back to October the 6th. Ultimately, it's up to the Palestinian people to decide. So it's that usual kind of mishmash of differences between the Israeli position, but not terribly forceful in expressing those differences. Beyond that, actually, we're expecting Benjamin Netanyahu to also do the rounds of the Sunday talk shows as well in the coming hours, so we'll keep an eye on that too.
Thank you very much for the moment. Shihab Rattansi live there in Washington.